Well, buongiorno Italia. Today is day 3 of our cruise after a sea day yesterday. And we are in Spezia, Italy, and we have an overnight stop here. So we've got a day today when we have no worries about getting back to the ship on time because the ship's not leaving. Well, we've had our breakfast this morning in the Elite Lounge at Tuscan Grill, and now we're just heading ashore in Spezia. We have to take the shuttle bus out of the port and then we'll pick up our hire car.
Yeah.
It's a nice warm day. A bit overcast at the moment, but it looks like it's going to clear up.
Very optimistic about today. I think it'll be excellent.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so we're off the shuttle bus and into Spezia and off to pick up a rental car. I left the confirmation in the cabin, so I'm just doing it by memory. Off to a good start. It's a local rental company, not one of the majors, because a lot of the majors aren't open on the weekend. So I had to find one that enabled us to drop the car off this evening. Anyway,
what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? And I'm slightly worried about the excess, which seems to be the value of the car. So we're trying to see if we can reduce that. Okay, so here's our car rental place. We'll see how we go.
Where are we driving now, James?
We're on the road to Lucca and to a particular villa, or just outside of Lucca, where we thought we'd start the day. So we've got our little hire car. It's a Jeep. Quite a lot of heavy traffic, actually. In fact, there's a bit of a blockage up ahead, but heavy traffic. Bit of a delay getting the car because I forgot my passport, so I had to get a copy that I've got online.
Tip 1, don't forget your passport.
Don't forget your passport when you're hiring a car or renting a car. But other than that, everything's going exactly to plan.
A few little wiggles and waggles to get onto the freeway, but now it's 40 kilometres straight ahead. Nice and easy. Sure are a lot of tunnels.
So here we are, the Villa Torrigiani. So we've found our way to the Villa Torrigiani. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, I think, from Spezia, mostly down the freeway. Not without its stresses for the driver. Only one wrong turn I think we took, but that was okay, easily fixed. And for €15 each, we've got a visit to the gardens and a guided tour of the villa itself, which sounds very nice. So we had our tour of the house. There were no photos allowed in the house, which was a bit of a pity actually, because it was really lovely, but all
fair enough too.
All with the original furniture from, I guess, the 17th century.
Yes.
Lots of silk, because they were silk traders.
They were. Very big in the silk trade. That's how they made their money.
Yeah. Okay, so after about an hour's driving, we found ourselves in the small town of Vinci. I think we'll try and get some lunch before.
When you see a park with yellow lines, be careful. It looks too good to be true, and it is too good to be true.
Yes.
You need a park.
Car spaces with yellow lines.
Residents only.
For residents only. So we parked first and then realised it was too good to be true, so just a little toasted sandwich to start.
That's my ham and cheese.
Okay. And another one. Prosciutto and lettuce. Okay, so we're at the Leonardo da Vinci Museum, which consists of a number of buildings.
And our excitement is building, I have to say.
Are you getting excited, are you?
Yeah, it is like, this is Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting stuff.
Okay. What did you think of the Leonardo Museum?
I thought it was magnificent.
And we've made it to the top of the panoramic terrace for a most Tuscan view of Tuscany. That's incredible. 360 degrees. Okay, so we spent about an hour and 3/4, well maybe 2 hours here at Vinci, and I have to say for me the highlight of the museum is great, but one of the highlights was the view from the terrace at the very top over the Tuscan countryside. It's just beautiful, spectacular. Anyway, it's about 4 p.m, which means if we've got about an hour and a half to drive back to La Spezia. We need to get fuel on the way.
We've already identified the best petrol stops, so
yes,
we should be fine.
Fortunately, the ship's not leaving tonight, so we don't need to worry about all aboard time. But should get back to the ship probably around 6 p.m. once we've, got to the shuttle. There we go, hired this little Jeep, which hasn't been too bad once I worked out how to start and stop it. Fuel stop completed, €38 it was for a
Holy
day's fuel. Oh, it's a quarter of a tank apparently. Anyway, back on the Autostrada for another 2 kilometres to get the La Spezia exit. That's all good. Okay, car dropped off. Now the walk back along the sort of main drag of La Spezia, shuttle bus back to the ship. It's one of those situations where you can see the ship, but you've got to walk half a kilometre in the other direction to get the shuttle bus back. So if you add the car rental cost plus the extra insurance we paid on the car rental to reduce the excess, plus the fuel cost, plus the tolls, you get to a number which I'll put on the screen now, and you can compare that to what a full day ship tour would cost. The advantage of doing it yourself is you get to do exactly what you want to do, and you'll end up spending longer at the destinations. You're not held up by the slowest person getting on and off the bus. You're not taken to museums where you're encouraged to buy some sort of trinket.
But against that, the downside is for some people it may be a bit more stressful.
Oh, it would definitely be more stressful.
And there's a bit more organising. So
a bit more organising.
It's whatever works for you, I'd say.
Yeah. And there's also particularly if you're doing it on a day when the ship's leaving, there's the tension of getting back in time. We don't have that today because the ship's here overnight. But if you're doing it yourself, I used to think, you need to get back. You basically lose an hour because you need to get back an hour before you would, otherwise get back, just to allow for delays and issues.
Yeah.
There we go, back to the ship.
Back to the ship.
It's always quite a nice walk alongside the ship after a long day ashore. Sort of, coming back to the familiar. Okay, we're starting off with a room service breakfast today. So we've got some cereal and some pastries in there and coffee. And then out on the terrace, Stuart's already into it, but we've got some yogurt and some fruit. So it's 7:40 and we've left the ship to get into La Spezia to get an early train to the Cinque Terre.
Hopefully to beat all the crowds.
Hopefully beat the crowds, which I think
our fellow passengers from the boat.
Our fellow passengers are already up and out of the Piano Avia, or Gargantua as I call it, is also in dock, which is an extra 5,000 people compared to yesterday. Anyway.
those poor little trains on the Cinque Terre.
Yes, well, let's see how the trains cope. And an early morning walk through downtown La Spezia to get to the station.
It is quiet, isn't it?
Right.
Very quiet.
Good. There we go, 8:50 a.m. and we are at Monterosso.
Okay, so tip one, don't forget your sunscreen.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Otherwise it's expensive. But if you do forget it, don't worry, just pay. Don't think about it. You know, it's better than getting burnt.
It's 10 to 9 in the morning. It's already really hot. There's already some significant crowds here too, which is interesting. So we're at Monterosso, which is the sort of the last of the 5 villages. Google Maps says it's a 4-hour and 44-minute walk to the first village. Whether we do the whole walk or not, we're not too sure. We'll see how we go. But we're going to give it a shot.
We've bought plenty of water too.
Lots of water.
That's good.
Lots of great. I think there's. Oh, I think that's a. I'm not sure what they're queuing up. It looks like they're queuing up for a spot in a cafe.
To get into a cafe, yeah. Well,
or maybe to get a beach umbrella.
could be.
I'm not sure what they're all queuing for.
Wanting to do whatever it is, it's the premier thing.
Yeah, whatever it is.
So they can get the photo shoot.
It's clearly what people do. Yeah. So we just had our first ticket check. So you can buy an all-day ticket which covers the trains and access to the walking paths, and it also covers use of the toilets in the train station, and we've already taken advantage of that. So that'll save you €1 for every time you go to the toilet.
The other thing is, we did a pit stop after the first train journey, and there was no queues.
There was no one there.
Everything was pristine and clean.
Yes.
We walked straight in.
Whereas friends we spoke to last night who'd done this or visited yesterday said they waited 20 minutes each time they wanted to go to the toilet. Fair bit of elevation already. You can probably hear that I'm panting. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of the villages. So after about an hour and 10 minutes, we're clearly closing in on the next town. But according to the sign back there, we've still got a K to go, or 900 metres, I think, to go. So now we're down in the village, and we really need to find our way to the path to the next village.
It's 680 steps.
And once you get to the towns, of course, you get the crowds and the tours. But yes, we visited this town 15 years ago, so we're not going to go right down to the foreshore. We're going to see if we can find the path to the next village. Well, if you're wondering how they get things moved around here.
Yeah, if you need your groceries delivered.
Yes, or a refrigerator.
Or indeed if you're renovating your bathroom.
So they use the little Caterpillar tractor tread things. In fact, I'm sure if you fall over or something, you will end up on something like that.
Only 3 more sections of the Cinque Terre to go.
Yes, well, we'll see how we go. Sun's certainly getting up. We're getting towards 11 o'clock, I think. Enough a little business here for weary travellers. Okay, so it's just gone 11:30. We're getting close to Corniglia, the next town. The sun's getting higher, so I'm swapping hats to my daggy hat, but with a wider brim. Buongiorno! So we're just approaching the third village, which sits on top of the ridge rather than down at sea level, so the approach is less severe. So just found this tap on the walking path and we're restocking on our water, which is handy.
It's labelled aqua potable.
So this is Corniglia. And the church. Okay, so that's the Corniglia railway station. And well, there's a man dancing in front of me. Sing hallelujah, baby. Just see the path that hugs the cliff. I reckon the next section is going to be a bit easier than what we've done so far. It's taken us about 3 hours to get to this point from Monterosso. So we're at Corniglia railway station. We've just been told that the coastal path to the next village has been closed for how many years?
A few years at least.
A few years. So
yeah.
There is a mountain path, but it takes 2 hours. So we don't have the inclination to do that. So we're just going to catch the train to the next village, and then we'll see if we can do the coastal path from that village to the final village. And it's kind of heaving here, fairly busy. Looks like the entertainment is watching the local kids jumping off the rocks. Okay, so it turns out the coastal path from Monterosso to Riomaggiore is also closed, so we're going to try and take the mountain path.
Yes, aka a goat trail over the mountains.
A goat trail over the mountains. We've got plenty of time.
Oh, we do.
It's only a bit after midday.
I think this trail will see us done once we've done this.
I think the village is, if that village is any indication, they're just heaving with people.
Yes.
It's not pleasant.
Not really. No.
So the walking is what we want to do, so
yeah.
We'll see how we go. So according to this sign, it's 1 hour to Riomaggiore. Just leaving the little village of Monterosso, or whatever it's called, behind us. Motorola. That's a nice view, and I love all the boats coming in and out. So we can see how far we've come. That's Monterosso over in the distance. And the first section of this walk is proving to be quite the challenge. It's very steep, bit of a goat track. I've come up there very quickly. A few ropes to help.
Oh my word, Mr. James.
Oh my word. Okay. What is slightly scary is that sign says Monterosso 20 minutes. I think it's taken us about 40 to come up, but maybe 20 going down. Riomaggiore is 25. So we're not actually halfway, but that was an extraordinary ascent. If I'd known about that, well, I probably would have done it, but bloody hell, I would have braced myself. So we've just crossed the peak. To be honest, the view from the top wasn't that great because you couldn't actually see any of the villages, but just on the other side you get to see Riomaggiore down there. Also you see the autostrada, or just the road. It's amazing engineering they do with the roads here. So we're actually above the first railway station of the Cinque Terre, Riomaggiore, directly above. So we've actually got to get down there because we need to catch the train back home. Or have we? Or is that the train station for where we've just come from? I think it might be. I think that's where we've just come from. We walk over to the town and then back up the hill. You can see the German kids just reaching that ridge there. There is the final village. Pretty sheer. Step straight down. Quite an impressive shot of that bridge. And that is the end of the walk.
Well, and there's the proof of life shot.
Proof of life. Well, it's been a 31,000 step day so far. Stuart, here we are at the railway station. We've got about a 10-minute wait for the train to get back to Spezia. Hopefully it won't be too crowded, but see, one way or another, we were getting on that train.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 1:30. There seems to be there's still more traffic going outward than coming backward. I guess, look, everyone's standing up in the shade. That's what's going on. Everyone's in the shade, which means we'll stand here because we're probably more likely to get on the train easily.
Well, many were panicking about whether we'd get a seat, but yes.
It's easy to get a seat. There's actually hardly anyone on the upper level of the train. Downstairs looks pretty packed, but people just
Don't move in.
don't move in. Also, I found it quite disturbing how a lot of people were pushing to get on the train when others still hadn't got off. Maybe that's attacking local behaviour, but
No, I think it's tourist behaviour.
tourist behaviour. Walking down the main drag of Spezia.
Nice and shady.
Nice and shady indeed. A few final steps along the waterfront promenade in Spezia before we get back to the cruise ship. Well, the final step count is 36,000 steps, which is pretty exhausting. So we've come straight to the Oceanview Cafe to try and just have a snack, to recover and to hydrate.
Get a salad in.
With some of the...
And we walked up to level 14.
Oh yeah, 14 steps, 14 more levels. Oh, there's no 13, of course. I guess it's only 13 levels. 14 more levels on before we found the Oceanview Cafe, and a bit of salad and chicken, salad, and a lemonade. Makes me a happy boy. So out on the promenade deck, sailing away from Spezia. What an amazing place. Don't do that. Why? I want to live in my boat.
It is an enchanting view. It is indeed enchanting.
Just walking through the ensemble lounge on our way to dinner at Blue. It's quite a nice lounge, this one. Got a nice bar. They're already here waiting because I'm documenting dinner tonight.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's like 2 stops in Spezia.
Oh, okay. The second one. Yeah, the second one. But I'm going to see if I can get some escargot from the main dining room. This is the escargot. And these are my friends. Hello, friends. It's the crab martini. Oh, it's a soup. It's a soup. There we go. This is the ribeye steak. So that's apple pie, and then a bonus tiramisu, which, given you've all got one already and Jay can't eat it, I guess it's mine.
Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven.
So this is the crowd for the Euro soccer final, England versus Spain. And as we sail out of Spezia, please like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos of our trip on the Celebrity Equinox. Our next stop is Santa Margherita and the town of Portofino.